Hey guys, I'm Tyler, and this is my video on map control. There isn't going to be much gameplay here because this is all pretty much my theories on how to play the game. And real quick, before we start, I stream on Twitch every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 12 PM Eastern. Link for that is in the description, so go follow me over there. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to my channel for more Valorant content, and also go and join my Discord server. So first of all, what is map control? Map control is pretty easy to define. It's basically having control of the map. And having control of the map, to me, means you have a player there who is ready to defend an area from being overtaken by the enemy. You can also view having vision of certain areas as map control too, so having something like a cipher camera watching part of the map could count as map control. You'll just have to have a teammate ready to rotate and defend when enemies are spotted because the camera, as of patch 0.47, can't shoot a gun anymore. Map control is most important when in defensive positions. You can be in a defensive position when you're playing defense, obviously, or when you have a bomb planted and you're defending against a retake. So when the round starts, map control is essentially the defensive side and the offensive side, each side controlled by one individual team. Since the offense has to plant the bomb on the defensive side of the map within a certain period of time, their map control isn't as important as the defenders. The only parts of the map that the offense is really concerned with holding is their own flanks and whichever bomb site they're planning on planting at. Map control is much more important on defense. You want to control as much of the map as possible, or at least as many critical points as possible. These critical points can be up for interpretation, but for me, these points can change as a round plays out. Let me use split as an example. At the start of the round, the points you want to have control of are A main, mid stairs and mid top, and the garage hallway. This will give you map control of critical areas of the map, and all bomb sites are going to be properly defended if you have control of these points. If they're all held effectively, then you're going to win the round. If teammates die or if they give up control in these areas, enemies have a chance to push up, and if that happens, you will have much less map control. Enemies can then be on any flank and your teammates are all at risk. I hope this animation can kind of highlight the importance of this. On defense, flanking is something that when done properly can really help with increasing map control. I'll use split as another example. Just remember that this is all hypothetical and I'm trying to explain map control here, so some of the heroes are going to be moving really fast and others won't be moving at all. This might not be an exact game situation, but it's just an example. So imagine you have 2 defenders on B, 2 in mid, and 1 at A. One of your B defenders is at the back of B, or maybe you have a cipher camera and all 5 enemies peek the corner in the garage. You now know that all 5 enemies are in the garage. This can open up an opportunity for your mid defenders to move up and for your A defender to go through their spawn. This will increase your overall map control and prevent the enemies from rotating to a different site without you knowing about it, or without it being contested. If you have a teammate watching B link, and one on the side of the attacker's spawn, you essentially have full map control and the attackers will have way less options. Again, this is just an example and not very realistic to happen in-game, but in a late round situation where there are not many attackers left, you can use flanks like this and watch key areas to prevent enemies from rotating to other bomb sites. In this example, the key areas at the start of the round are different than the ones at this point in the round. B garage hallways stayed the same and should still be controlled. But now since all the enemies are in the garage, this specific point of B lobby is very important. A teammate can hold an angle right here and get shots off or just get vision of enemies trying to move through mid or back through their spawn. Now in this example, in my opinion, something that the flankers shouldn't do is push into the attacker's position. As a defender, you still have the clock on your side, so giving them an earlier opportunity to kill you is not worth the risk. Let them take up as much time as possible and just keep map control. If, in this example, our mid and A flanker push in and both get killed, the defenders completely lose all of that map control and now you're left with 3 people to defend B, mid, and 1 has to go all the way back to A. A proper rotation here would have someone move from B to take care of mid, and the guy in mid, once the B defender moves to take over mid, they should then move towards A. Holding A main would be the first priority because their back would be covered and they can, from here, cover A heaven and the bomb site itself. If the player were to move to A heaven instead, they would have to cover A ramps and the connector to the site from A main. They can't look at both of these points at the same time. If they were to go directly to site, they would lose map control of heaven, A main, and also screens. This kind of shows why the decision-making process of which spots to hold is so important. Holding on the ramp looking towards A main is clearly a better choice than holding on site itself when it comes to controlling the map. Here's an example of bad map control. In this situation, there are only 3 defenders left and the attackers are pushing again towards B. The A defender decides to flank and goes through the attacker's spawn. You can see that the defense has map control of the garage hallway, pretty much all of B, and mid top. The B and mid defenders stay put, and you can see how much of the map is being given up by this selfish Phoenix. Not only is he exposing his teammates, he's leaving a bomb site open too. Just when he thinks he's going to round the corner and get a 5k, the bomb is planted at A. Since the mid defender was only watching mid top and not the stairs or mid bottom, the attackers were able to go back and go all the way through the sewers and take A completely uncontested. They now have a defensive position and a huge advantage to win the round. Flanking should only be done when you're gaining map control. Flanking without map control is more like wandering around selfishly looking for kills rather than trying to win the round itself. Again, if a map is properly controlled, you will have the best chance of winning a round. Essential points at the start of the round on bind are places like A showers or bathrooms, A cubby, B window, and B garden. Again, these change throughout the round, but at the start of the round, these are the spots you want to be focused on the most. For Haven, it will be places like A short and long, mid courtyard, garage, and C long. Haven is obviously unique because of its 3-bomb design, and if you look closely at the map, there are a lot of places a defender can push up to gain a lot of map control. Here's an example. Let's say you have 2 defenders on A, 1 on B, 1 in garage, and 1 on C. If you know the push is going towards C, then one of the A defenders can move up to A lobby. With the rest of the team on their bomb sites, A is completely cut off from the offense. This can free up the second A defender to rotate and help their teammates. Another option in this scenario is to have the garage defender to push up to mid doors towards the spawn. If they hold this angle here, they will know of any rotation to any other bomb site. Keep in mind that these moves can only be made if every enemy's location is known. If the defenders only know that 3 attackers are pressuring C long, then 2 attackers are unknown. They could be lurking and watching for flanks. One of our A defenders can push up and not properly check his corners and get killed by a lurker. So keep that in mind when pushing a flank on defense. Remember how many enemies are alive, and if you're certain of all the enemy locations, you can then advance to try and get more map control. Flanking too early and without proper map control or map knowledge can get you killed and put your team at a massive disadvantage. One other thing I wanted to mention is that a hero like Omen can really mess up a team and their map control. Omen's ultimate, in my opinion, is underrated and deserves some recognition when it comes to map control. Anytime an Omen uses his ult offensively, all map control from the defense goes out the window. Omen can literally be anywhere at this point, and every defensive flank is wide open. Every defender now has to hold their specific angles as well as watch their backs for a flanking Omen. This can really mess up a defensive hold, and it can open up a lot of opportunities for attackers. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed my best effort at a simple animation. This took way longer than it should have, but I had a lot of fun doing it. Like the video and subscribe to my channel for more Valorant content, and go follow me on Twitch. Also, join my Discord server. Links to everything are in the description. Thanks again for watching, guys.